it's Melinda. Welcome back to my channel at Therapized Live. Today we're starting part 2 of our mental health series focusing on a mental health check-in. So what exactly is a mental health check-in? Where it's kind of you just taking the time to say, how am I doing? And kind of assessing yourself. Now, why is this important exactly? Well, a mental health check-in is important, similar to the way you would take the time to check in on a friend or a loved one, making sure they're okay. We need to take that same necessary time for ourselves. During this time of a pandemic, it kind of taking a pause to think, okay, what are the questions I would ask somebody else to make sure they're okay? What are the things that I would do to make sure that a friend or a family member or a loved one is doing all right if I haven't heard from them, or they maybe just don't seem to be their normal chipper self? Well, that's what this video is going to focus on. It's going to focus on 5 things we need to do a mental health check-in on ourselves. If that sounds like something you like to hear, just keep watching. Okay, so now I've decided that I need to do a mental health check-in, but how do I get started exactly? Well, the first thing we need to do is to find someplace quiet. In this world, there's so much going on at all times. We're constantly multitasking, taking care of everybody else, doing so many things. Our mind's constantly spinning of all the other things that we need to complete throughout the day. It's very hard to find time to pause and take stock of how we're doing. And with so many things going on, it's extremely difficult to do a mental health check-in if our mind is distracted with a list of things that need to be done throughout the day, or places we need to take our kids, or other things we need to do to finish whatever task it is we're thinking about. So the first and most important step is going to be to find some quiet time. Finding a quiet place and giving yourself time to truly reflect in quiet on how we're doing. So now we found our place, we found us some quiet time and some quiet space. Now what do? Now we move on to step 2, which is looking at the big picture. This is where you take stock of yourself and you see, okay, how am I doing internally? Am I able to fulfill my role, whatever that is? Am I able to be a mother? Am I able to be a teacher? Or am I able to, carry out through my day and get through the necessary things that need to be done? If you find that, hey, I'm able to get things done, I'm able to take care of my kids okay, go to work, not really having any struggles, then that's a pretty good sign that we're doing okay. However, on the other end, if you notice that I struggle to get up and do the regular things like feed my kids breakfast, or I can get to work, but when I get there, I'm sitting there and my brain's so distracted and it takes me a long time to get going in my day, or when I get home at the end of the day, I have a hard time interacting with my spouse, or even just talking and spending time with my children, and I struggle to just make it through the day each day. That might be a sign that something bigger is going on, and which moves us on to step number 3. All right, in step number 3, it's time to assess our feelings and behaviors and truly and honestly take stock of how we're doing. This is where we ask the hard questions. Things like, have my behaviors changed? Maybe I'm normally energetic and get out of bed at 5 o'clock and I'm ready to go for the day, but now I'm sleeping more, laying around, finding it hard to get up or do anything really. Everything seems like a chore to me. Have my feelings changed? Or maybe before I'm more happy and go lucky, but now everything upsets me. I'm more tearful. It doesn't take anything to bother me. Have I noticed that things that once brought me joy or things that I previously enjoyed now aren't that much enjoyable and I don't want to do anything anymore? Maybe I like to ride a bike or exercise or hang out and call friends, but now I just want to sleep. Nothing seems fun. Do I notice I'm more irritable? No matter what people say, I'm short with them, or I'm snapping at people, and I don't know why, but everything annoys me. Maybe I'm avoiding people. Before I reach out to people, I text, I call, I get together with friends and check out, but now people are calling, I'm not responding, or I just want to be alone. I'm isolating myself, kind of boxing myself off. These are definitely signs that things have changed and I really need to make sure that I'm okay, because it seems like I'm heading down. Now, if all these things you check in and everything's fine, hey, you're good. But if you find that things are changing and your behaviors and your feelings are heading in a negative direction, then we definitely need to continue on to step number 4. In step number 4, I want to look at my body and how it's doing. A lot of people don't realize this, but our physical bodies, a lot of times try to let us know how our mental health is doing. The two are linked, and you really can't separate one without the other. So a lot of times, even though you might not be consciously aware that you're not feeling well, your body will give you signs and symptoms to let you know that, hey, You need to check in on yourself. You need to do something to change because things aren't going well. So for example, are you sleeping well? Maybe before you can knock out and sleep all night. You can sleep through anything, noises, nothing bothers you, or as soon as your head hits the pillow, you're out. Well, now you're struggling. You can't go to sleep, or you're tossing and turning and you're waking up at night. Or maybe, how's your appetite? Are you eating? Either maybe you're a stress eater, so you're eating more and eating your feelings away instead of dealing with how you're really feeling. Or maybe you're just not hungry, and so you're skipping meals and you go days at a time or throughout the day for hours longer than you should. Or if you are eating, maybe the things you're eating aren't as good. Before you ate a more healthy, well-rounded diet, and now you find yourself wanting nothing more than a salty or a sweet snack to kind of take that little craving away and just help you feel a little bit better for a while there. Other things you might notice, again, energy level. Your energy might be way down. Before, maybe again, you had energy to make it through the day and be able to do the things you do, but now everything's a struggle. Getting out of bed, putting on clothes, brushing your hair, walking, just making it through the day. It seems like it's so much wear and tear on you that you find it really hard to really make it and do what you need to do. Are you noticing you're having muscle pain, muscle tension? A lot of times we carry our stress in our neck and back area. So a lot of times you might notice, man, my neck is sore. I don't know why, but gosh, my muscles are so sore. That could be your body telling you you're carrying stress on you there. Are you grinding your teeth? A lot of times people don't realize as well, they kind of clench their mouth when they're stressed, even if they're not fully aware of it. So maybe you're grinding your teeth, or you're kind of tensing up and you're just tensing your body all the time. So again, you want to pay attention to the physical body as well to check in to see, is my body in physical things that I'm noticing? Am I having new ailments or things going wrong? Am I just not being able to do the things I could do before? That's ways our physical body tells us that we also need to make sure we're okay, because our body and our mental health as well is not doing well. And this moves us on to step number 5. And I know I said step number 1 is important, but step number 5 is equally as important, if not more. And that is to don't wait until things get bad. So many times we procrastinate when it comes to ourselves. If it's somebody else, we'll get on it quickly. Like, oh, you need something? Hey, I'm there. But when it's time for me, we push it down, push it to the back burner and deal with everything else first. And I'll get around to how I feel later. I'll get around to dealing with that later. Well, that's not what we want to do. And that's why it's good to do these mental health check-ins every now and then, just to make sure we're doing okay. Because if we can catch these things before they get bad, then we can stop ourselves before we end up spiraling into a pattern that ends up turning into depression, or until we just get to a point to where we ourselves can't pull ourselves out of this mood that we're in. Whether it's talking to a friend, whether it's realizing I need to go see a therapist, whether it's talking to somebody and starting on some medication. It's better to assess in ourselves early and admit that something is going on, instead of ignoring that it's not and pretending like there's not a problem, than for trying to push ourselves and continue on with life like nothing is wrong, and then getting to a point to where we're down so low that we don't know how to get out of that. All right, now that we learned all about the mental health check-in, I want to start some conversation in the comments below. Have you ever done a mental health check-in? Do you feel like this is something useful that you will start trying now that you've learned more about it? Let me know down below, okay? Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not already subscribed, why aren't you? Go ahead and subscribe down below as well. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I upload any future videos. Again, as always, thanks for watching. Next week will be part 3, where I'll be talking about some self-care strategies. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day, guys. Bye.